Hey guys, this is Tom Box, and yesterday I topped my first hometown regionals in 10 years. Why has it been 10 years? Well, here's the mat, and here's the deck box thing. But 10 years, why? Because, if you guys haven't heard this story, we didn't have Vancouver regionals for a very long time. And then last year we started getting them back, and I didn't get to play them. I judged them, and now here we are. The first one I actually get to play, I got to top it, so it makes me feel very, very good. This is a branded Chimera deck. I'll give you the profile and I'll give you guys the tournament rundown, but that's kind of the backstory of why this top is so cool for me, anyways. Maybe not for you. This video entirely feels very cringe for me to even make because there was that OTS Store Championship top, which kind of features this deck. With this one, I did update it, and I'll tell you. Just a quick synopsis of how everything went down. But make sure, guys, if you guys want to help with this video, celebrate with me, hit that thumbs up button, hit subscribe, ding that notification button. Okay, so here's the quick version of the tournament summary. We have round 1 versus Labyrinth 2-0. He was a bit of a newer player. Round 2 versus Vanquish Soul. Well, he still ended up in the invite range, but I took that one 2-0 as well. I think we went to a grind game. I won the grind game, but I got branded fusion. Round 3 versus Swordswell was Will. Game 1 I took it. Game 2 I also took it, so that was another 2-0, but I had a perfect poker hand to destroy him, like 2 super poly, 2 triple attack, but it was mainly because I had branded fusion and Fallen Albaz. Set super poly, whack it over, play the board, play branded fusion, and basically take the entire match. I was like a 15 minute match. And then round 4, this is my first L versus Rescue Ace. Brick both hands, and I misplayed. And I also really needed the bathroom. I really could not think, and I definitely did not want to be the person who stinks up the whole place. And then round 5 versus Jin's Vanadium. Game 1 he bricked, and I just took it. Game 2 I more or less bricked because I had 3 normal, 2 tribute, couldn't really do anything. And then game 3, it was a bit of a grind game. I was losing until I got to Mirror Jade. Once I got to Mirror Jade, I forced the Mirror Jade to get negated so that I can use Branded Fusion to follow up and basically clean house from there. And that's kind of what happened there, because he had to keep his board alive. So Mirror Jade had to get negated in the grave. That was great for me. And then round 6 versus Calvin's Vanadium. Another back-to-back Vanadium. This time I won the die roll. It was really nice. And so it did the full thing. He had 1 play, and then it gets negated. He scoops up. Then we go into game 2. Game 2, he built full board. We have Ice Jade, we have Bistio Dissipator, plus the Baron, plus the person in the front, Appaloosa, for 3 material, and the counter trap. Draw phase, super poly. Take away the 2 names that matter most into Draco Quest, which would be Baron and the Dissipator. Wow. Fantastic. Really good stuff for me. Battle phase, run over the Ice Jade and try to get my plays in, but I didn't think that it was going to go through, so I was hoping that I can go to Rimbrum to turn off the Appaloosa, but instead I get hit by an Ash, then I triple attack, take it over, and then I normal summon up Mirror Sword Knight, and I just went off from there. That was the perfect moment to go off. Sorry, Calvin. It just happened to be the perfect out. And if you're wondering how did I get rid of the Appaloosa, I use Kodal. Part of the combo from Mirror Sword, you get the Kodal dump, add, instead of Mirror Sword Knight, add the Gazelle into your hand, and then you can still play Chimera Fusion to get rid of stuff, so that, because it's a monster summon from the extra, you can go into Magnum Reliever, or I think you can go into Magnum, but I went into Guardian Chimera because they just needs to be different names, so that was pretty easy. But I think Magnum Reliever maybe is an option. I actually didn't even read it. Monster Special from extra, yeah, you could have, because that was an Appaloosa. So that's kind of how I took it. And that's how I didn't have to return the material, and he drew, and then that was it. And then round 7 versus Tier. Game 1 he bricked, and I did full combo thing. I did rip a card to let him search, but I think the search may not have been that great for him. Game 2, I tried to grind it out. It was a mistake to grind it out. He just had way too much. I had a lot of great cards. I needed maybe 1 non-responsive card to kind of crack the board. I couldn't crack it, and I burned a lot of time. And then into game 3, this is the final round. I bricked game 3, but I had counters. It was all non-engine, so I countered most of the plays game on the first turn, and then to kind of bypass that, I just had a Druid Swarm sitting there with like kind of 2 dead cards. But I think he made several misplays along the way in this simplified game state, which allowed me to take it, because I called end of main to try to go to end phase. He activates Tier Cash, which enabled my triple tack. But when he hit the tier cache, when he milled into Kelbeck, which milled away 5 dead cards, which would have been the exact same non-engine stuff. So it would have been 10 non-engine cards in a row. And then I played triple tack, drew into Ash plus Mirror Sword. Normal Summon Mirror Sword just did my thing. And then the finishing blow was Chimera Illusion Beast punching for basically lethal. It was great. And also the Druid Swarm to finish the punch because he went into sprint, tried to build board, spun away the wrong card, I think. I think he spun away the Druid Swarm. I think he probably would have survived as well. But he's definitely spun away the wrong card. And therefore, I took it from there. And that's how I ended up 3rd place. Okay, first let's clear the table. I'll take this card out because I have to switch this card in for next week anyway. The rest of this stuff we'll just push it aside. It's not important right now. This one I'll keep aside. So anyways, here's my deck list. Starting off, Triple Gazelle. Sometimes you search directly into Berfelmet. If you already have Chimera Fusion, sometimes searching the Berfelmet is the right play. Speaking of Berfelmet, 2 copies of Berfelmet. Great card sometimes to add directly. Mirror Sword Knight, your 1-card starter. It's great. Kotal, also your 1-card starter that goes into Mirror Knight. But I've searched every single searchable card with this, and it makes a huge difference if you search the correct target. Big difference. Like sometimes I added Gazelle, sometimes I added Berfelmet. It really depends if you already have Chimera Fusion. That's the only thing you have to contemplate. Then 2 copies of Fallen Albaz. Fallen of Albaz was wonderful in the hand because it gave me the Albaz Lions while just playing Chimera Fusion. It's fantastic. 2 copies of Nib. Okay, this is the part your guys are not gonna like. I play such awkward ratios because I play cross-out. So I played 2 Nibs. They were really bad because I never got to use them. And when I had it in my hand, it was top deck into it. 6-card Maxi. Triple Ash. Yes, they are German. Shoutouts to Kanak Gaming for the swap. Play 2 DD Crows. I kind of wish I had a 3rd, but it didn't really matter. It was good though. I did win games with this, so it was still pretty nice. And now for the spells, Triple Branded Fusion. What do you want me to say? It's Branded Fusion. Triple Chimera Fusion. Try to keep these available. Double Book of Moon. Yes, I played 2 Book of Moon. I punished everyone that tried to imperm me. They tried to imperm like Book of Moon chain, and now I still got my search, and that felt really bad for them. 2 triple tack. I used it maybe 2 or 3 times to simplify the game state by ripping more cards out. Triple Crossbow Designator. This has hit imperm at least a couple times, but anytime I had this, I felt super safe from just playing the game, so I didn't have to worry about my opponent. Super Poly, the MVP of the deck. This thing won so many games, but I only Super Poly'd for things that required Fallen of Albaz 90% of the time. I did not summon out Mud Dragon. I did summon out Garura once, but everyone else was kind of useless. 1 Call by the Grave because it's called by. I did use this against a D-Shifter. It mattered. I was so happy I had it. And another odd ratio. I played 2 copies of Imperm. I side 1 out just so that I would have a cross-out target. But yeah, really odd ratios. And I played 2. There can be only 1. It's a 41 card deck. Okay, to some of you guys dunking on my ratios, okay? How about this? All the things I wanted to see in my hand, they're in 3s, and I do not have multiples of them. All the cards I did not want to see in multiples, they were in 2s, and luckily that's kind of how it played out. But that's the logic, and you know, it's still the math still technically checks out. Let's go into the extra deck, okay? I don't want to explain. I'm really tired. We have Chimera, the Illusion Beast. I went JoJo all over town, at least 3 games, maybe even 3 matches with this. Won me so much. Just punch through OTK. You just need to know the OTK. When you have it, you have it. Don't complicate things. Just go for the shot. Then there's 2 Chimera King of Phantom Beast. This card, just remember that you have a graveyard effect, and also if it gets negated, you can't use the negation effects from your illusion monsters. So I did go into 1 game where my opponent drop loaded this monster to change the name off, and then I just played Chimera Fusion just to put it back onto the field so I can reset the name. It was important, okay? This stuff does come up, and it's these details that kind of, you know, win you through. 2 Guardian Chimera, your opponent will always try to play around it, try to get it as chain link 1 and stack another chain on top so that even if they have negate, they can't stop it. Okay, here's the package I kind of want to talk about a little bit. It's a bit weird. It is the Albaz package. I played 2 Mirror Jades, And this extra deck is already really tight. So it's 2 Mirror Jades, a Lubellion, a Rinbrum, and an Albion. This somehow lets you resolve 3 branded fusion. So the first branded fusion, you're likely going to shuffle back the Lubellion, and you're going to use Lubellion to summon out the first Mirror Jade. Okay, the second one is probably going to summon out Rinbrum. Technically, Rinbrum would be the first one, which allows you to send the Albion into the graveyard and getting yourself another branded fusion. But because Lubellion is back in there, you can actually play your branded fusion again, and that's why this is the perfect ratio. Did I ever use 3 branded fusion in one game? Yes, I did. That's why it was great. And then for all the cards, I barely got to summon. I didn't get to summon this, so Magnum Reliever, you should still play it though, because if you have double Chimera Fusion, this allows you to get additional pops. This never came up. This came out once. This never came out. This won me the game against Vanadium, and I'm so glad I had this. Thank you for being in the shoebox and decided to play it. Yeah, this is the only out against like a full Vanadium board, like unless you have Sphere mode. I think that's like the only other out. But this, wow, put in work. So if you have nothing else better to put in, put this in. But otherwise, you're likely going to swap it out, because I am totally putting this card in next week, and that's going to completely change up the game. I might even play Trap Tracks to hand loop my opponent with Disturbance Strategy. Yes, if you guys want to know what it is, you Trap Tracks, blow up this card, set up Disturbance Strategy, activate Disturbance Strategy, chain this card. What's his name? Phantom King. Summon back your Guardian, what's his name? Protector of the Sanctuary, so that they can't draw cards outside of whatever phase, and therefore they shuffle everything back into their deck, and then they draw 0 cards. They have a 40 card deck to your OTK coming up next turn. That's some of the cheese I might try out in the near future, or that, or Barrier Statue, one or the other. That's how this deck is going to evolve. But aside from that, I might be jumping onto like this deck instead. So, you know, I'll think about it. But yeah, that's kind of the rundown. Is there anything else I need to talk about? I guess I have my side deck. Okay, here's the side deck. 2 Herald of the Abyss, never sided them. Triple Cosmic Cyclone, sided them, drew them whenever I didn't need them, so when I saw them I died. Triple Evenly Match. I had it in one game, didn't need to play it because the other cards were strong enough, so basically these were all bad for me, but they're definitely, I needed to play them. I sided 1 Nibiru in, so these are the weird 1-ofs that were left behind, the Nibiru, and there can be only 1, so if they were matched by needed 3s, it'd be great. The only cards that did kind of come up and I didn't get to play was the triple Druisworm. This did come up. I did play Druisworm. Druisworm came up quite a bit actually. And the 2 D barriers. Again, why another 2-of, Tom? Because why would you want 3 copies of this card? And 1 copy gets sided in for Cross of Designator. Okay, no matter who goes first or second, I have to put 1 in. If I go first, I can use it. It'd be great. I'll have both copies. But if I'm going second, I have to put at least 1 copy in just because I get D-buried. Because if you guys didn't notice from the extra deck, it was all purple. All right, so that's it. Basically, only 5 cards worked, and the other ones, they didn't do anything. But I think my game against Rescue Ace, I should have chosen to go second and just side in the evenly. And yeah, because if I chose to go second, it would have been a bit weirder for them, because they might not be playing the Ibly package, which will allow me to evenly them. Especially in going second, Ibly doesn't sound like it's that great of a card. That was the logic, but I got Lightning Stormed instead, so that part was unfortunate. But that's probably how I would have adjusted it. Would I change up this side? I don't know. It didn't perform because I didn't see the cards and I didn't need the cards, so maybe I'll alter it to make my matchups a little bit better. That's it. That's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks for coming here and celebrating with me, watching this deck profile, and maybe some of the updates. Like, I'm probably putting this card in that deck for sure. You know, yeah, this is definitely going in, and we're gonna see some maybe Trap Tracks, Destruction, Disturbance Strategy, loop your opponent's hand. I don't know, but if you want to see some stuff like that you can do with this deck, then make sure you guys hit the like button, hit subscribe, ding that notification bell. Thanks for coming in again, and also got a live duel of the upcoming format. You guys can see it. It's like one of our scrims. I never really record them, but if you guys want to watch how we playtest our sessions and kind of troll at each other, well, one of the upcoming videos is a live duel, but it is the playtest table, so you guys don't want to miss out on that if you want to see that, of course. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.